Hey guys, I'm Jameson with Rogue Engineer, and today I'm going to show you how we built this outdoor kitchen. Let's get started. So first things first, we needed to bring water out here because we knew we wanted a sink in this outdoor kitchen. So I knew that my son's bathroom is actually on the other side of this exterior wall, and luckily enough, there's a hot and cold water faucet on the inside of this wall that we were able to tap into and bring outside. Now I used some of Ryobi's new plumbing tools, which are really cool. They're 18 volt. There's a PEX crimper, which was perfect for being able to splice into those lines and tee into those lines, as well as their PVC cutter that I used to cut the PEX and be able to run that out and connect to the new spigots. Now, the cool thing about this is that since they are outdoor water spigots, they're frost-proof, which means that they're shut off actually inside the house. So when it comes time to winterize this, all I have to do is turn the spigots off, disconnect the hoses, and drain those lines. So then we can move on to building the frame for this structure. Now, I split mine up into several mini walls that we built offsite actually in my workshop, and then brought them here and installed them to the ground. First, I installed two long, what I'll call as sleepers down. Since my deck joists are running this way, I needed to install two long boards this way on the front and the back, and then I could install those mini wall sections on top of those. Now for the frame, I went with pressure treated lumber. It's a good wood that's not going to rot over time. It's also not very flammable, and it's just easy to work with for this project. However, if you're worried about a flammable product, then you might want to go with something like a metal stud. However, pressure treated was just fine for what we were using it for. Now, I knew we wanted to cover the exterior of this outdoor kitchen with the same stone that we used on the exterior of the house. We had some of that stone left over, however, we didn't have any corners left over. So I decided to bring in some warmer tones by introducing cedar posts. We went with a 4x4 cedar post at each corner, and that would allow us to run the stone right up to the cedar post and give us a nice clean line. So to continue on with the cedar theme, we went with a cedar frame for each of the access panels. Now that's going to give us a nice flat place to mount the access panels to, but it's also going to act as a nice clean edge to run all of our stone up to. So we got all the cedar cut, the frames assembled, and then we went ahead and applied a nice oil finish to that to be able to protect it over time from the elements. Now for the cedar frames, we actually left those 3 inches off of the structure, and that's going to allow for a 1/2 inch of our cement board, as well as 2.5 inches for our stone. There's a lot of variation there, so we wanted to make sure that we could accommodate even the thickest of the stones. So then we moved on to actually cutting and installing the cement board on the structure itself. As far as installing the cement board, we started off by cutting it down with a circular saw using a James Hardie Diablo blade, which is meant for cement board. However, I realized that since we were using Wonder Board, we could simply score and snap it. So, something learned for next time. And we also used DAP's Dynagrip Heavy Duty Max, which is a great adhesive for installing porous surfaces like this cement board onto wood, even wet wood. It's just a really good all-around adhesive for something like this to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. While I do that, I wanted to take a second to talk about Home Depot's mobile app. They have tons of great features on there like photo search and in-store product locator. They also have delivery options if you don't want to go in-store, such as buy online, pick up in-store for quick in and out, or home delivery on certain products, and they're offering free shipping on appliances, including haul-away. So head on to the App Store and download the Home Depot mobile app. Then it came to actually installing the stone itself. And it's not a large surface, however, there's a lot of cuts, so it was time consuming as far as the stone goes. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, or a lot of the masons out there are going to say, we needed to do a scratch coat. However, I actually contacted the manufacturer of the stone, and they said on cement board you do not need a scratch coat. Use just type S mortar, butter the back of the stone, and stick it, and it worked surprisingly well. Now for the countertops, we wanted to do something simple and pretty bulletproof. So we opted for concrete countertops. We ended up going with a concrete countertop mix. However, you could use a standard Quikrete 5000 with a flow control additive that's going to give you increased fluidity and working time for projects like this. Now before we could pour the countertops, we needed to create forms for those countertops. So we measured the top of the bar and figured out exactly what we wanted and where we wanted our sink to go. And then we made the forms out of 3/4 inch melamine. Now melamine is a good form material because it's super smooth. And as far as where the sink goes, for the insert there, we used 2-inch thick rigid foam. We were able to cut that down and wrap the outside of that foam with like a silver tape to keep the concrete from sticking to it. And then we glued that down to the inside of the form right where we needed to be. Once we got the forms all made up, we came back and followed up with 100% silicone from DAP. Now we used a colored silicone, which they have available in silver. And this was perfect because after we went through and applied that silicone, we laid down the bead and we were able to come back and make sure that all of the excess was removed. And this was perfect because after we were able to apply that bead and make sure that roundover was exactly how we wanted, we let the silicone cure, and then we were able to come back and make sure that all of the excess was removed. Any excess that's left inside the form is going to show in the finished concrete product. So I want to thank our sponsor for this project, Home Depot. And the nice thing about Home Depot is that they have buy online, pick up in store. And if you haven't used their mobile app yet, you got to try it out. It's really cool because you can not only search for items by picture, you can also go on and be able to locate products in the store as well as purchase on through the mobile app and pick up in store. The other nice thing is that they offer delivery, which was perfect for bigger items like this, and our grill was able to come in on a truck and delivered right to the house. While the concrete was actually curing, we were able to get the access panels installed, and that's as simple as just setting them in place and then screwing them from the inside. The access panel that I have underneath of the grill has 2 drawers, which is nice for being able to store utensils, grilling utensils, as well as the access panel to be able to cut off the gas and service underneath of the grill. The access panel under the sink is just a little bit more storage, as well as being able to access the drainage and everything underneath the sink. After we allowed the concrete to cure for a day, we were able to remove that from the form and then start working on sanding the concrete down. Now I just used an orbital sander with, I started off with 80 grit just to knock down any imperfections and make sure that we rounded over the edges exactly how we wanted, where we didn't get that silicone quite right. But overall, you can even sand up to a 400 grit in wet sand. It's completely up to you how you want to finish the concrete. Once we were happy with the final appearance of the concrete tops, we then moved them in here and we were able to set them in place, figure out where the battens on the side of the house were. Since we have that board and batten, we needed to back cut those battens in order to slide that concrete up under them and into place. Now the concrete countertop, although it is heavy, we were able to secure that with some more of that DAP Dynagrip Heavy Duty Max. Just a couple of big dollops on the frame are going to make sure that that doesn't go anywhere. All that was left was installing the grill and the sink, and that was pretty easy. Our knockout was exactly right for our sink, so we were able to kind of even attach the faucet and everything beforehand, set it in place, and then hook the drain up. And as far as the grill, we needed to connect the gas line to the back, slide that in place, and then connect it to our roughed-in valve below. With everything hooked up and ready to go, we weren't quite ready to go yet. We needed to make sure that the countertops were sealed. So we applied Miracle Sealant's impregnator sealer, which is a great product for concrete. It still maintains that natural looking concrete. However, it's going to be able to penetrate down into the concrete and repel any water. We also wanted to make sure that we waterproofed around the sink as well as the back wall and the grill. And we did so with DAP's 100% silicone max. And this is the perfect product for kitchen and bath, anything that you need to keep food safe and make sure that the water is not going to be able to penetrate through any of those joints. Now I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions about the hood. The hood was already here. We had the hood installed when we built the house, knowing that we were gonna put an outdoor kitchen here. We just had our HVAC guys come and put it in. However, the hood is from Best Range Hoods. It's a stainless steel 48-inch hood, and it's just perfect for this because it's just kind of, it's built really nicely and it's gonna last for a long time and be able to withstand the elements. And it's also gonna keep our screened-in porch clear of any smoke from the grill. So I hope you guys enjoyed this project. I know that we enjoyed this project and it's been a long time coming. We're glad, even though it's later on in the summer, we're glad to be able to get this one done so we can start grilling. But wait, don't go yet. Make sure you check out that video right there. YouTube thinks you'll like it and I do too. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure you do that right there. And if you want the full write-up on this outdoor kitchen, make sure you hit this button right here. Until next time, be safe and happy building.